News OK's Press Row with the Oklahoman's Barry Trammell and Jenny Carlson is powered by Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'.
I'm Barry Trammell, and I'm trying to figure out which is the better duel this spring in OU football. The kicker or the backup quarterback?
Kicker is all the rage at OU. Everybody wants to talk about who's going to get the kicking duties for the Sooners. We'll talk about that here on the Press Row from the Opubco Studios. I'm Jenny Carlson. Press Row is sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts. Barry, you and I love the kicker controversy. No shortage of copy when it comes to the kicker at OU. But it is an interesting question, the bigger debate. Who's going to be the kicker for OU out of spring and who's going to be the backup quarterback? Which is most interesting to you?
I think it's the backup quarterback for this reason. I think Jimmy Stevens has solidified that kicking job. I know Bob Stoops has 17 other guys on scholarship at kicker ready to take the job. But Stevens proved that he's solid from 40 yards and in. And frankly, I think the Sooners are willing to live without a long-range field goal kicker. So I think that's going to be Jimmy Stevens' job. I really do. Backup quarterback, not so sure. Drew Allen has now been around. This will be his third year. Blake Bell just coming off his first year at Oklahoma and is a ballyhooed prospect out of Wichita. His dad played in the NFL. A wonderful athlete. I think that's going to be something to look at. Bob Stoops likes experience at his quarterback position. He almost always goes with the more experienced player. Now, whether that extends to the backup quarterback, I don't know. But whoever wins that job has the inside track for the Oklahoma quarterback job when Landry Jones moves on.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And, clearly there were some people a year ago who felt like maybe Blake Bell might push Landry Jones heading into this season, but doesn't look like that's the case. It looks like Landry Jones has, like Barry said with Jimmy Stevens, solidified himself in that starting role. But who's the backup? And that maybe doesn't play into what you'll see on the field next season very much. Bob Stoops has not historically been a guy that's, even in blowout situations, played the backup quarterback very much. But it matters in practice and how many reps you're going to get, how many chances you're going to get to be out there with the other top offensive guys playing against the scout team defense, those sorts of things. I would guess that Blake Bell will be the guy that emerges just because we've heard so much about his pedigree. But it'll be interesting, Barry, because I think that they're going to give both of those guys a chance this spring to really establish where they are. But does this mean that we're not even going to talk about kicker in the spring? How could that be?
Well, I think we'll talk about kicker, and in the spring game, I'm sure we'll have 2 or 3 guys kicking and probably all kinds of fireworks. But like I said, I think Bob Stoops has reached the point where if he can have a guy that just can make extra points and make a 36-yard field goal, he's not going to complain. He's not going to gripe when he has to go for it on 4th and 6 from the 31-yard line and say, forget the 48-yard field goal. He's not going to complain if he knows that on 4th and 2 from the 19, he can try to kicker out there and get his 3 points. So I think he's reached that comfort level with Jimmy Stevens. Jimmy Stevens has been much maligned. I've done some of the maligning. But down the stretch last season, he was very solid from inside the 40. So I think that job is probably going to be his unless Michael Honeycutt or someone really wows him in the spring. I don't think we're going to see a big kicker controversy come the fall.
Well, and we've talked about this before. Jimmy Stevens has his limitations, and I think for a while the OU coaches wanted to push him and extend him and see how far they could push Jimmy Stevens and have him attempt some field goals that were out of his range. They've pretty much stopped that, and I think that that's helped his confidence to do what he can do, and you don't sort of see, at least not late in the season, you didn't sort of see the wild swings of confidence with Jimmy Stevens. He's now making what he can make, and they're not asking him to do more than that. Frankly, I think it was a smart move. It made Jimmy Stevens better. It sort of got the offense figured out. We know we're going to do X when Y happens, and they've just sort of lived with it. There may come a time when they don't have to have those limitations, but right now, even with 18 guys on kicking scholarships, they still have that issue. I think that they've got that solidified, but we'll see about that backup quarterback spot. That's going to be interesting to watch. Hey, stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.